Hello everyone, my name is Anjeli Lorena Sirait with ID number 20070507. And now I would like to explain about neurolinguistics to completing my assignment in introducing to linguistics. These are about the contents that I will describe. The first is the meaning of neurolinguistics, brain and language, neuroautonomy of the language, brain and the linguistic capacity, language and brain lateralization, an amazing fact or example, second language acquisition and brain plasticity, and the last is topic notes. The first that I will describe it is about what is the meaning of neurolinguistics. Neurolinguistics is the branch of linguistics that is concerned with the brain mechanism and that underlines that acquisition and use of human language through the study of the neurobiology of language. Next, about brain and language, and this is a little bit of a historical background. The hypothesis which states the brain is the source of language has started by the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Greeks. The assumption reoccupied people's attention again when Paul Broca introduced what is called Broca's aphasia and states that we speak with the left hemisphere in 1869. Karl Wernicke introduced another variety of aphasia, language disorder, that occurred to patients and with lesions. Neuroautonomy of the language. It is now accepted that the Broca's area and the Wernicke area are in the left hemisphere and are the two brain regions most closely associated with language ability. But here you can see the picture. This is Broca's area. Yeah, and this is Wernicke's area. Brain and the linguistic capacity. The fundamental component of linguistic capacity is the ability to name and to associate it, a symbol to an object or an action. That ability is dependent on the ability to form cross-modal association between modalities. Therefore, non-human are incapable, even with intense training, of forming the type of model representation necessary for metaphorical matching. Language and brain literalization. The human brain is separated by a longitudinal fissure called the corpus callosum, which separates the brain into two distinct cerebral hemispheres. You can see here, it is the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere and corpus callosum. Language as a reasoning function is lateralized to the left hemisphere of the brain. Okay, next, releasing brain function laterality is credited to Paul Broca, who built his research on Tan, a patient who had speech deficit in 1861. After performing a post-mortem autopsy, Broca determined that Tan had a lesion in the left cerebral hemisphere. This area is called Broca's area. Broca included that deficit in speech production. Broca's aphasia is caused by damage in Broca's area. In 1874, Wernicke announced another variety of aphasia, that occurred in patients with lesions in the back portion of the left hemispheres, as known Wernicke's area. Unlike broadcast patients, those patients spoke fluently, but they had numerous instances of lexical errors or substitutions, or what is known as Wernicke's aphasia. Those patients also had difficulty in comprehending speech. Okay, next, an amazing fact. This is like we can say this is also like an example. Okay, when baby utters his first mama at age 1, adults exult that he has finally begun learning to speak, but his lessons in language began long before. Even in the womb, the infant's neural and focal senses are being actively developed. About John L. Locke. Locke and others found out that the right hemisphere plays an important role in language during the first 3 to 7 years of life. In the act of speaking, the right side of an adult's mouth tends to open first because motor control of the right side of the body and control of the speech are both vested in the left hemisphere of the brain. In young children, both sides of the mouth are opened in the same time because the right side of the brain, which controls the left side of the mouth, houses speech centers. Second language acquisition and brain plasticity is human skill to learn more than one language mediated to functional or structural change in the brain. The first is learning a second language increases the density of the left inferior particle cortex. The degree of structural reorganization in this region is modulated by the proficiency attained and the age at acquisition. Again, it is the last topic point topic notes that I described. So I think that's all about my presentation. That I want to say thank you for this opportunity that given to me. Thank you so much.